Happy Black History Month and welcome back to me talking about whatever I want. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Magical Negro Trope.
You need to leave!
Okay, hold on. I know it sounds insane if you haven't heard it before, but give me a chance to explain exactly what it is. I decided to make this video because next month the American Society of Magical Negroes is coming out and I got some interesting feelings about it. I'll get into that in a bit, but you already know what I'm gonna say before I start this video. I'm not an expert, I'm just somebody who likes to do just a little bit of research. If I get anything wrong, or if I miss anything, please say something down in the comments. Please go message me on Twitter, Instagram, Discord, wherever you can find me. Okay, with that out of the way, let me explain what a Magical Negro is. A Magical Negro is a black character archetype who will usually step forward to try to help the protagonist with their folksy wisdom or pure heart. This character will usually use their mystical abilities to help the more privileged and usually white main character achieve their goals and aspirations. They usually never have motivation or aspirations for themselves, and if they do, it's in the context of helping the main character realize their own racism and thereby become a better person. But if you really think about it, there are a lot of tropes that are kind of like this. There's the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, the Magical Asian, the Magical Native American, the Inspirationally Disadvantaged, the Magical Romani, and the Magical Jew. Pretty much anybody who's in the minority can become one of these characters. That's to say, I'm not saying these are Magical Negroes, I'm just saying these are character archetypes where they usually have some type of knowledge the main character doesn't have. I will say there is a difference between these archetypes and the Magical Negro though. The Magical Negro will sacrifice themselves and occasionally, in more serious situations, die for the main protagonist. With this trope comes the subconscious thought that all these characters are good for is whoopee epiphany speeches and dying for the main character's plot development. John Coffey from The Green Mile and Dick Halloran from The Shining are two excellent examples of characters who could have saved themselves if they just had a little bit of self-preservation. Both are extremely wise and extremely powerful in their own right, yet they don't step up and save the day themselves. Instead, both characters spend their time doing everything for everyone but themselves, when if they just had a little bit of self-preservation, they could have probably either saved the day or at least saved themselves. So, I asked this question. What would happen if a Magical Negro did have a little bit of self-preservation? They'd be a normal character. I know, it's anticlimactic, but they'd be a normal character. The American Society of Magical Negroes tries to ask the same question, but it just doesn't hit like it should. Something just doesn't feel right about it, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. The movie doesn't even come out till March 15th, but people are already upset about it. I mean, you can just go look at the like to dislike ratio on YouTube and get back to me. Now, I did some, and I say this very loosely, research about what critics were saying and what the general public kind of felt about the movie and the trailers as a whole, and it's not looking great. But why does everyone feel so strongly about a movie that doesn't come out till next month? People had an idea in their head before this movie came out. They saw the title, they saw the teaser trailer, and they were like, oh, this is gonna be the Black Harry Potter, or what I thought it was gonna be was a satirical comedy about a society of magical Negroes. Like the title implies, this should be a movie about a society of magical Negroes, but instead, they take the backseat to a love story, which causes this movie to have an identity crisis between being a rom-com and being a satirical comedy, effectively doing neither justice. The main character, Aaron, is a failing artist who gets mistaken as the help at an art show of his and gets accused of stealing a white woman's purse. His first assignment after joining the Society of Magical Negroes is to look after Jason, who's a racist tech designer and is unhappy with his current position at his job. While working on the assignment, Aaron ends up falling for Jason's coworker, Lizzie. She's also a person of color and she's significantly better at her job than Jason is. Now Aaron has to decide between Jason's happiness and the safety of the society or his own happiness and a potential relationship with Lizzie. Now, in my opinion, having an actual society of magical Negroes is an amazing premise for a satirical comedy. But since this movie isn't using irony to make a commentary on the Magical Negro trope or its privileged protagonist, it's not a satire. Owen Gleiberman, one of the critics of the movie, said this: as black Americans, they're in danger the more that the white people around them, a boss, a cop, a stranger on the sidewalk, are stressed out. The more they can lower their stress, the more collective well-being they'll have as black citizens. This, of course, is a double-edged, outrageous idea. The film demonstrates that there's truth to it, which is its own outrage. At the same time, it deviously skewers the notion that black people should have to make themselves into enablers of overly privileged whites. The movie knows what an awful idea that is, yet it pushes it with a celebration that becomes a form of deadpan mockery. That being said, this is not a movie that uses satire well. I just watched American Fiction, and in my opinion, that movie uses satire very, very well. It stars Jeffrey Wright. He plays a writer who writes books, but they want him to write black books, if that makes sense. I haven't heard many people talking about it, but I strongly recommend you go watch it. The American Society of Magical Negroes kind of reminds me of one of those people who says something really out of pocket, and when you call them out for it, they just go, oh, it's just a joke, it was just a joke. Something that also really doesn't sit right with me is people's opinions on the actor who plays Aaron, Lizzie, and the director, Kobe Libby. I keep on hearing, oh, it's a movie about a mixed dude falling in love with a white woman. It was obviously written by a mixed dude. First off, they're mixed. All three of them, not just the two of them, all three of them are mixed. The actor who plays Lizzie, Ann Lee Bogan, she's mixed and everyone keeps on calling her white. It just feels really disrespectful. I see where they're saying and talking about making something black, but it still just does not sit right with me. I mean, we love Get Out and Nope, and those were both written and directed by a mixed man. Don't get me wrong, I like Us too. I just like Nope and Get Out better. The problem though, isn't the race of the characters of the director, it's the writing. My biggest question is, who is this for? It feels like Libby tried to write this for black and white audiences, but it just didn't work out the way he expected it to, and now it just doesn't work for either. I know that he was trying to educate people while also making them laugh, but not everybody can make something like Blackish. And I use Blackish as an example because yes, there are black characters. Yes, there are situations that black people have actually been in. But Blackish is able to use jokes and commentary that black people can relate to while also being able to educate non-black people about the black experience. The American Society of Magical Negroes does this in a way that infuriates black people and leaves everyone else feeling really, really uncomfortable. In the spirit of wanting to make something for everyone and make everyone feel comfortable, they instead did the opposite and made something that made everybody feel uncomfortable. All right, I know I just made a whole video about this movie, but I'm not even gonna hate watch this. Okay, at least not in theaters. I might have to turn to my boy Luffy for an hour and 44 minutes if you get what I'm saying. That's just my opinion, but you should let me know how you feel. Do you think this movie is actually gonna be good? Are you gonna go see it in theaters? Let me know in the comments. You should message me on my socials. I wanna hear all your thoughts and opinions on it. If you like weird videos like this and you wanna hear me talk about more, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll try to be consistent. Emphasis on try. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing it well. I hope you have a happy morning, evening, night, whatever time it is for you. I'll see you guys in the next one.